Maybe this feels familiar, like you gave her your heart, your time, your effort. You thought that by caring, by being there for her, you were doing the right thing. You answered her late night texts, you calmed her storms, you made sure she felt safe, and yet she slipped away. Not only did she leave, you watched her run straight into the arms of a man who gave her half of what you did. And that pain, it doesn't just sting, it burns. If this is you, you've probably asked yourself in the quiet moments, what did I do wrong? You replay every memory, every smile, every word, looking for the mistake that made her stop seeing you. You wonder how it makes any sense. Why would she walk away from the one person who actually cared? Maybe you've noticed the pattern. Every time you let yourself get invested, every time you let your guard down and show her that she matters, suddenly she starts pulling away. She gets distant. The calls stop. The spark fades. And you're left there, confused, heart in your hands, asking yourself why the very thing you thought women wanted, genuine care, always seems to push them out the door. It's maddening, isn't it? You give her what other men won't, and instead of staying, she drifts away like you've done something wrong by valuing her. But here's the question no one ever dares to ask out loud. Why do women always leave the men who care the most? You've been taught your whole life that showing care is the ultimate proof of love, that if you give her your time, your attention, and your heart without limits, she'll finally see your worth and stay. But here's the truth most men miss. Care by itself is not what keeps a woman. And when you give it in the wrong way, it does the opposite. The mistake isn't that you care. The mistake is that you confuse care with sacrifice, with overgiving, with abandoning yourself to prove your value to her. A man who loses himself while caring for a woman is no longer standing in his masculine strength. He's leaning on her approval for validation. And the moment she feels that, she senses something is missing. Women don't leave because you cared. They leave because your care came at the cost of your power. You stopped leading. You stopped holding your ground. You stopped being the man she could look up to and instead became the man hoping not to lose her. And when that happens, she feels the weight of having to carry what you dropped and she walks away. Real masculine care is different. It comes from a place of strength, not fear. It's grounded in principles like self-respect and boundaries. You can love her, you can protect her, but you never surrender your center in the process. That is what creates the safety and attraction she craves. Most men never learn this. They only learn the pain of watching her slip away, wondering why the very thing they gave, care, wasn't enough. But once you understand the difference between caring as a man and caring as a boy, everything changes. He sat in the dim glow of his phone, staring at the empty screen. No message, no call, just silence. The kind of silence that wraps around your chest and squeezes until breathing feels like work. Hours earlier, he had been the one holding her hand, brushing her hair back, telling her everything would be okay. He was there, always there, and still she was gone. He remembers the way she used to smile when he showed up at her door, arms full of her favorite things, the way her voice softened when he said, "I'll always take care of you." He thought that's what love was supposed to be, giving, protecting, proving himself in every way he could. But somewhere along the line, her eyes stopped lighting up, her laughter became shorter, her presence became scarce. He replays the night she pulled away for the first time. They sat across from each other at dinner, his words spilling out, trying to make her feel loved, trying to fill the silence. And she just looked past him, past his effort, past his heart, as though she was already gone. He felt it in his gut. The harder he tried to hold her, the faster she slipped through his fingers. In the quiet of his room now, the thought haunts him. How can caring so much push someone away? He scrolls through old photos, each one a reminder of how deeply he gave, how deeply he lost. It doesn't make sense. He gave her everything he thought she wanted. And still, she walked away, leaving him with only this aching question echoing in the silence. Why do women always leave the men who care the most? Most men carry around beliefs about women and relationships that sound good on paper, but quietly destroy attraction in real life. You've been told that the more you care, the more loyal she'll be. That if you give her everything, she'll never leave. That proving your love through constant sacrifice is the ultimate way to hold on to her. But none of these beliefs are true. They're traps. Here's the first one. The more I care, the more she'll love me. Number. Love doesn't grow through neediness. When your care starts to look like over-attachment, what she feels isn't safety, it's suffocation. She didn't leave because you cared. She left because you lost yourself in that care. The second false belief, if I give her everything, she'll never leave. The truth is, giving her everything often means you've left nothing for yourself. And when a man abandons himself, he becomes invisible to her. She didn't ghost you. You disappeared from yourself. And here's the third. Sacrifice proves my worth. Real worth isn't proven through sacrifice. It's shown through strength, boundaries, and self-respect. A woman wants to feel your care, yes, but she also wants to feel your backbone behind it. Care without power is just weakness in disguise. These beliefs are hard to break because they're tied to your deepest intentions. You wanted to love her right, to show up for her, to protect her. But once you see how these patterns push her away instead of pulling her closer, you can finally wake up. The men who keep losing women are the ones who cling to these illusions. The men who keep them are the ones who learn the truth. The 1% headman sees the same storm every other man sees, but he doesn't get swept away by it. Where most men think caring means constant giving, endless reassurance, or proving themselves, he knows true care is something different. This is what he understands. Real care doesn't mean losing yourself in her. It means standing so firm in who you are that she feels safe to lean on you without carrying your weight. When a woman pulls away, most men panic. They chase, they explain, they overcompensate. But the headman doesn't. He doesn't confuse her distance with a demand for more effort. Instead, he reads it as a call to remain rooted. This is how he leads with presence, not pressure. He doesn't beg for her attention. He holds his ground, and in doing so, he becomes the very gravity she orbits. This is what makes him different. His care is not a performance. It's not a plea. It's an extension of his strength. He doesn't abandon his principles to win her over. He doesn't sacrifice his center to make her stay. He knows that the greatest gift he can give a woman is not everything she asks for, but the unwavering certainty of who he is. And here's the shift. Most men give care from fear, fear of losing her, fear of being alone, fear of not being enough. The headman gives care from abundance, from strength, from choice. That's why women don't run from him. They run toward him. Because when care is backed by power, it's irresistible. When it flows from a man who refuses to lose himself, it becomes the kind of care that lasts. There comes a moment when the silence becomes louder than her absence. You sit there, phone in your hand, scrolling through old conversations, waiting for a message that will never come. And in that stillness, something clicks. It's not about her anymore. It's about you. You realize you've been measuring your value through the way she responded to your care. Every text, every call, every sacrifice, little pieces of yourself handed over like proof that you were worthy of staying. But as you replay it all, the truth hits you. It was never that you cared too much. It was that you forgot to care for yourself first. It's a strange kind of awakening, like seeing your own reflection after being blindfolded for years. You notice the man staring back at you, the one who has weathered heartbreak, the one who keeps trying, the one who still stands despite it all. And for the first time, you feel a quiet respect for him, for you. The weight lifts when you finally understand. A woman leaving isn't proof of your failure. It's proof that you were giving from emptiness. You were hoping she would fill the spaces you had abandoned inside yourself, and that's why it never worked. In that moment, the chase stops. The waiting stops. You don't need her reply to feel alive. You don't need her presence to confirm your worth. You remember that your care, your love, your devotion, they're powerful when they come from strength, not desperation. And for the first time, instead of asking why she left, you start asking yourself a far more powerful question. Why did I ever forget who I was in the first place? So maybe it was never about the fact that you cared. Maybe it was about how you cared, because when your love came from fear, it drained you. When your devotion came from need, it suffocated her. And that's why she left. Not because you weren't enough, but because you stopped being you. The truth is, women don't leave men who care. They leave men who lose themselves in the process. What they crave is not endless sacrifice, but a man who can love them while still standing tall in his own light. And when you finally understand that, when your care flows from strength instead of weakness, you'll never have to chase love again. Because here's the truth you'll carry forever. She didn't walk away from your heart. She walked away from the moment you abandoned your own.